guys, welcome back to my ASMR channel. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for subscribing and liking. I've got so many very cute comments lately that really touched me, that makes me feel like what I'm doing is worth it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I pour a lot of love and thought into my videos, and it feels great to see that resonates with you guys. So we are almost at 1,000. I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna buy myself like a mini cake or something. You know, maybe exaggerated, but I never thought 1 year ago when I started this channel that I could even make it to 1,000. I was just doing it because I felt like having an ASMR channel. Anyway, thank you so much. So today I was at my parents' place, and driving back from there I got a little bit in a gossipy mood and started reading AmItheAsshole Reddit threads. So this is what I'm gonna bring to you guys today, and we are going to read some AmItheAsshole stories. I expect you guys to comment if these people are a-holes or not, or your opinions. Otherwise it's not gossiping and it's not gonna be fun. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with my 4 stories that I have for you guys today. Okay, number one is wedding story. I love those. And let's see. Also, I'm always reacting with you guys because I haven't read it all the way through, so that it's kind of like a genuine reaction from my side as well. Then let's hop right into it. The first story is called "Would I Be the A-Hole for Suing My Friend When She Didn't Come to My Wedding?" Let's see if you are. Okay. I, 25 female, recently got married to my 25 male husband in Bali, Indonesia in January. It was a destination wedding, but my parents and his parents paid for their own plane tickets and hotel. But we paid for our friends' plane tickets and hotel stays. Each plane ticket was about 2,000 USD, and the hotel was maybe about 150 to 300 for a week. Good price. My friend Gemma brought along her newly-wed husband John along, but paid for his plane ticket. The problem is that Gemma and John did not show up to my wedding. Gemma took the free plane ticket to Bali, oh my god, and the hotel room, and when I asked her why she didn't show up, she said that since they couldn't afford their own honeymoon, that this was a perfect opportunity, and that Jim decided that he didn't feel like going. Oh my god, oh my god. I was really hurt by this, since Gemma and I have been friends for over 10 years. Would I be the asshole? Would I be the a-hole if I took her to a small claims court for the money I spent on the plane ticket and hotel? Oh my god, that's diabolical. And there's an update. Oh my god. So a lot of people must have reacted to this. There's an update, guys. And it says, I messaged Gemma per multiple comments advising me to invoice her for the plane ticket and hotel room, but I did something a little better. I wanted to get pro honeymoon with John. She replied, I've missed you a lot, and I know the trip was for your wedding, but John didn't want to go because he felt like your wedding ruined the illusion of the trip being our honeymoon. Oh my god. And that you'd understand. You can't make this shit up. Like, oh my god. This is so diabolical. What do you mean I didn't want to go? John didn't want to go. Oh my god. Okay, I replied, no, I don't understand. You took advantage of me, and that's not what real friends do. Which it's not. Okay, it's not. So I'm invoicing you 2,387.53 USD for the cost of the plane ticket and hotel room. I will give you 30 days, and after that I will be taking legal action. I received no response, but she's been posting subliminal quotes on Instagram that are along the lines of entitled friends. Speaking about entitled friends, okay, and having snakes in your life. Yeah, well, she would know, I guess. Thank you all for your verdicts and help. And there's another update, so we get the whole story. I'm so glad about that. Oh my god. So I'm so glad we get another update, because like I think you already can tell what my opinion about this is, but like how diabolical can you be? Like, oh, it wouldn't feel like our honeymoon because newsflash, it's not. It's her wedding where she paid for you to be there. I couldn't imagine if someone would pull that on my... Oh my god. Okay, edit update part 2. I didn't think this could get worse, but here we are. Oh my god. I hope you guys got tea at home to sip from, because I would have needed a cup. I'm so agitated. Okay, I think this could get worse, but here we are. I didn't respond to any of the subliminal messages she posted about me on social media, and I've been very quiet while I've been getting my ducks in a row for the litigation. But this past Friday, she sent me a 3-page audit of financial and emotional contributions from 2015 present until present. I wish I was effing joking. The audits, and now she is listing the audits. She itemized every dinner or lunch we've ever ate together. She estimated $18 per meal. Gas money for driving to and from hangouts. A birthday gift from 2017 that she now claims she went into debt for. Time spent emotionally supporting me after my dad passed. Oh my god, she did not go there. She said she took on the role of a grief counselor for me. Okay. Even though I talked to her on the phone about it once for 30 minutes. And one time she helped me move apartments. She wants to be paid for her labor. And emotional distress caused by the threatening litigation. Oh my god. Her grand total, $2,412.9, which is conveniently within $25 of what I invoiced her. She then told because this B is delusional. To clarify, I never asked her to cook for me. While I was in college, she did pay for lunches, but when I definitely returned the favor big time once I graduated. I bought her many gifts over the years. I've let her stay at my house several times when she and John argued. And I have also lended the shoulder for her to cry on when she had difficult times in her life. As friends do, I guess. I mean, what do you mean? But apparently, being a friend is now billable. I decided to give the message a thumbs down, because if I respond, I will be extremely disrespectful of the anger I am facing. I cannot wait for these 30 days to be over, because I will be suing the F out of her. As you should, girl, as you should. Oh my god. Okay, what do you guys think of this story? Because I'm flabbergasted. Like, reading the title, I did not know what I should expect exactly. Because I was like, okay, suing your friend for not coming to the wedding is a bit much. But you pay for someone to be there, and I will have a destination wedding, and I'm not paying for anyone to be there. And if I, except for my parents and my maids of honor and my bridesmaids, but if I would pay for you to come to my wedding, and you would use that money and like the place I booked for you and the plane ticket to do something selfishly for yourself, and then turn it around and say that I'm the bad person. Oh my god. I mean, she can just be happy that she lost that friend for good, because that was not a friend. Keeping score. Oh my god. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Moving on to story number 2. And if this one's as juicy as the top one, I would have to make us a cup of tea. Okay, let's get into it. Am I the a-hole for sending this text after my friend returned clothing she took from my apartment? Let's be the judge. Okay, my best friend of 10 years, we'll call her Lucy, has been cat-sitting for my husband and me for around a year and a half. We pay her and let her, our partner, stay in our apartment. But recently, she stayed for 2 weeks. Additional context: while she was there, I left her 3 bags of clothes to keep, which we talked about beforehand. These bags had the same type of clothing she later returned: pants, tops, PJs, etc. So she had plenty she was welcome to take. 2 weeks after getting back from vacation, when Lucy and I were hanging out, she mentioned she had borrowed my hollow sweatpants while staying over and needed to return them. I didn't know she had taken them, and she wouldn't have known this, but they were a gift I'd only worn once. A few days later, I asked to get the sweatpants back and a pair of little leggings I knew she had from a few months earlier. When I got the clothes back, another 2 weeks later, she brought out a huge bag of clothes, far more than I knew she had. Some things were missing since last summer. Multiple drawers and some things were missing since last summer. Some were new and never washed or worn. Some were sentimental vintage. They were clearly from multiple drawers and cabinets in my bedroom and closet. Not things I willingly lent her. Since I also had left the 3 donate bags, I worried everything had gotten mixed together, and it would be a guessing game to figure out what's mine. She apologized and told me to let her know if I could think of anything else I'm missing. Over the next few weeks, I asked her about some specific items, including pens that went missing around the first time she said she had those too. She said next time I'm over, I can look through her closet to see if she missed anything. At this point, I had been trying to get my stuff back for around 6 weeks. This was the message I sent. I need to be honest about how serious this feels to me. It doesn't sit right that I would have to come search for your closet to figure out what of mine you took over the past year and a half. You went through multiple drawers and cabinets in my home and took so many items without ever asking or telling me. Some of these were things I had never worn or washed. Some were gifts. Some were sentimental or vintage and irreplaceable. I've also spent time thinking I lost certain items at yoga or in my building's laundry, never once imagining that my friend, someone I trusted in my home, had taken them from me. I need the rest of my belongings returned. If you're unsure if something is mine, send me a picture and I can let you know. I just need space to process everything because I didn't expect this. I just need space to process everything because I didn't expect this at all while you were staying here. And I am at a complete loss because I never thought that you would be someone to violate my privacy in such a big way. She apologized and has since returned more items. The total now is around 25 pieces of clothing. Am I the a-hole for sending that message? I'm worried that I should have worded it more nicely and that my directness could make me the a-hole in this situation. Now, this story is not that juicy and it could feel not that deep to some people, but in my humble opinion, that I am allowed to voice since this is my channel, I don't think that this is a good friend behavior. I mean, I have lent a lot of stuff to, especially of course my sister, but also friends that had been over, kitchen things, but also more expensive items. We always share clothes, and especially when on vacation, we lent even expensive handbags and shoes if they fit to one another. But never would I take somebody's personal belongings home for more than that needed evening, like for weeks or months. I mean, like she also mentioned in the story, she has like thought multiple times that she had lost those items or misplaced them, or maybe even went like crazy trying to find them and thought she must have lost them. And I know how that feels because I tend to lose a lot of stuff, especially earrings and stuff like that, and when you're trying to find it and you just can't, you're like feel super stressed out. And also, I mean, if she lends you things anyway, why not just ask, or at least let them know beforehand. My dog is snoring again. And yeah, what are your thoughts about this? Maybe you wouldn't mind as much, but I would probably. And I don't think the text is that harsh actually. So, let's move on to a hopefully more juicy story. Okay, so let's move on to our third story. I got myself some tea for the mood, so let's get into the story. Am I the a-hole for ignoring our friend on our trip to Mexico? This sounds juicy. Okay. Last year around this time, my friends and I planned a trip to Cancun, dreamed a tour of a resort and spa. We all wanted to drink, eat, dance, and relax on the beach with no kids in all caps. So I already know where this is going. I'm the only one without kids, so I was really looking forward to spending time with just my friends to unwind. Every other trip before this was planned with the kids, but this time there would be no early bedtimes, no crying, no screaming, no sand in our drinks, because kids think it's funny to throw sand. 1 week before the trip, one of our friends said she's bringing her 10-year-old. This woman can never tell her kid no. So we had all warned her beforehand that if this happens, we weren't going to change anything. To say I was annoyed was an understatement. Lol, but I sucked it up. I still had 2 friends who were going child-free and had no intention of changing any plans. My 2 other friends drank, and I drank and ate amazing food. We danced all night and spent the day at the beach. This friend with the kid expressed her frustration about the rest of us doing what we wanted, and she couldn't. My response was pretty much, well, that sucks, but we're not going to change the entire point of this trip just because of your inability to tell your kid no. We've invited her to do what we were doing multiple times, but her response was always, I can't. My kid wants to go. So there was definitely tension between the 3 of us and her the entire trip. Yikes. When we were making our long way back home, all 3 of us got really nasty messages from her fiance, calling us bad friends, and how dare we not revolve our entire trip around her and their kid. That she had a terrible time and it was our fault. Okay, and I was like, pardon with 4 question marks. Honestly, same girl. That was pretty much the last straw for me. Now I never tell my friends how to parent their children, but their daughter is so nasty. She's so spoiled, and like I've stated earlier, has never been told no. So you can understand how entitled this child is. My other friends are a lot more reasonable when it comes to their children. Their children are polite, have a general understanding about boundaries, and they behave really well for 8 to 10-year-olds. My text back to him was pretty much, we made these plans a year in advance, expecting us to be fine with the fact that you guys dropped it on us that your child was coming a week before we were leaving, and then expecting us to change everything and cancel all of our plans because you guys can't tell your kid no. It's not fair to us at all. That is a you problem, not ours. I'd understand if something came up and she had no choice but to bring her child. Shit happens, people cancel, but that was not the case. Her fiance was home the entire time, and her grandmother was looking forward to watching her granddaughter, but her kid freaked out about not being allowed to go on the trip, and they couldn't tell her no. Now her and her fiance are super pissed. Were we in the wrong here? Now, I am not a child person. Like, don't get me wrong, I personally feel like children are part of life, of course. I mean, children are... I was a kid. We all were kids. Like, the whole freaking world was a kid at one point. And I feel like children are precious and should be allowed to be children. And yeah, I always think it's so miserable and when people want to forbid children everywhere. But what I also cannot stand, and I don't want children, like, so, but still I can grasp how children are important, and I have, like I mentioned before, you know, but I also feel like children should be, well, raised by their parents, and it's never the kids' fault, it's never the children's fault, they're just kids. But as a parent, it's your responsibility to teach them boundaries, in my opinion. And learning that not always everything can go your way is an important lesson to learn early on, because there will always be a no in your life that you should be able to handle. Also, I feel like it wouldn't even be a problem if they wanted to go to vacation with the kids, and it would have been agreed upon in advance. But to just tag a 10-year-old along while you made plans to do fun stuff, I mean, they could have even booked an all, like, only adults only place. What would she have done then? I mean, you know, it's kind of... I think that this is a very entitled behavior from this friend, and the person who wrote this is not the a-hole in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Let's move on to the last story. From the title, this also sounds quite juicy, and it's a dating story. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not playing dumb on a double date? This happened years ago, but I told the story recently, and some of my friends acted like I was an a-hole. The ratings of this story are that everyone sucks. So, let's move on. I used to work with this girl, Chelsea, who would tell me she always thought I would be a good fit for her friend Nicole. Each time she said this, it felt like she had no idea we have had this conversation before, and I was actively getting better at navigating the conversation. For example, I had gone from "is she cute" to "what do we have in common," and she had gone from rolling her eyes to telling me that we were both tall. Chelsea is very attractive, and her friends match, including the stereotypical very attractive tall blonde named Nicole. And I really wanted Chelsea to follow through with this setting us up, but she never did. While we worked together, fast forward a few years and I run into her again. Chelsea is working in this high-end liquor store near my office, and I see her from time to time. She mentions Nicole again, says we would be a great this time I really push for the setup. She tells me the same spiel about how Nicole is also tall. We have the same sense of humor. She's a waitress at a nice restaurant nearby, as well as other interests. Chelsea even tells me that she remembers one day I chatted her up about The Walking Dead at work, and after work she was hanging out with Nicole, who basically repeated everything I had said earlier. We exchanged numbers, and later that day she tells me a time and place. The plan is for Chelsea, her fiance Nicole, and I creep her social medias, and it's pretty obvious it's the wildly out of my league Nicole. The morning of, she tells me we need to postpone. It sucks, but it happens, and we schedule it for the following week. The same place. I come prepared. New haircut, new outfit, studied the menu, everything I could think of to put my best foot forward. And I'm introduced to a very different Nicole. This Nicole is short, fairly overweight, works at a daycare. I can tell from everyone's reaction that I'm visibly disappointed. I decide to go through with the date, but I just keep bringing the conversation back to what I knew about her, asking questions like, when did you get bored of The Walking Dead? How long have you been a waitress? Oh, Chelsea mentioned you have been friends since you were kids. Chelsea was trying her best to talk her way around it, but Nicole was visibly upset. This girl went to the bathroom, and the girls went to the bathroom, and her fiance asked me what the F I was doing, and I told him that Chelsea obviously meant to set me up with someone else. He said she did, but Nicole kept postponing and clearly wasn't interested, so she found someone else more in my league. I gave him a sharp look, and he followed with, okay, she found another Nicole. And yeah, that's it. There's no update, so this is the whole story. Honestly, guys, my opinion is that everyone sucks as well. And also, I feel like this story is not that deep, honestly. I would even lean into saying that the writer of this story is the a-hole. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, it's true that it's not nice to set someone up with somebody else after promising to bring this one person, this quote-unquote attractive Nicole, also is an a-hole, because she could just say, look, I'm not interested, and Chelsea could have just never brought up Nicole if she already knows that, like, Nicole is not interested. And calling this person who wrote the text out of her league is also mean. But this whole thing is very petty from the writer. I mean, he made the Nicole that actually showed up to the date and was maybe also looking forward to this setup feel bad about herself just because he expected a super attractive tall blonde to be there. And while I get it, I mean, there are people you're interested in look-wise. I feel it's not fair to follow through with the date. I mean, you saw her, you could have just said, you know what, this is not what you promised me, nothing against you, but she was, I was expecting somebody else. or he could have said that he wasn't feeling well or whatever, and just, if he didn't want to be honest, leave the date and not follow through with it. But these jabs that he took that were meant for Chelsea clearly did not hurt Chelsea. I mean, they made her feel uncomfortable, but they made, first and foremost, they made Nicole feel bad about herself. And that's not fair, because she didn't know about Chelsea's false promises and about who this guy was expecting to show up. So why would you hurt a stranger's feelings that got ready, made herself ready to be there, and actually showed up, just because you're petty about your friend not being honest? I think that's not fair. So everyone sucks except for the Nicole that showed up. And first and foremost, the writer of this story sucks, in my opinion. But like always, let me know what you think in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video and the little tea session that we had. And yeah, hopefully we will make it to 1,000 this week. Then I'm gonna make a special extra video this week to celebrate with you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Go to bed, sleep, relax, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.